Usually when you visit a website, all of its components try to load at once. Your browser will display every media asset, text, link, and other elements on the page. If the page has many images, they can slow down loading times dramatically. There are a lot of ways to reduce the impact that images have on page loading times. You can optimize images, enable browser caching, use a CDN, and opt for smaller file types. This is where lazy loading comes in. This setting can defer loading each picture until your browser viewport reaches the section of the page with that file. Delayed loading can help initial loading times. This is essential when you consider that 40% of users will leave a web page if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. Therefore, this setting can entice visitors to stay on your site and browse your content. It's important to note that as of version 5.5, WordPress lazy loads images by default. However, there's some contention about whether the default approach can harm core web vitals scores. By default, the delayed loading improves loading times on paper. However, it can also hurt largest contentful paint scores, which measures how long it takes for the largest image or text block on any page to load. We did an entire video series on web optimization, including LCP, FCP, and so on. So we'll link that in the description. WordPress uses the HTML loading equal lazy attribute for images on your website. Generally speaking, that is the easiest way to implement deferred loading. However, not all browsers support that attribute. If you want to disable deferred loading for specific images, you'll need to modify that attribute manually using HTML. The alternative is using a WordPress plugin that implements delayed loading with a different approach. Technically speaking, you can defer loading for almost any element on a website. Deferred loading is best for heavy media assets that significantly impact loading times. However, WordPress core only supports lazy loading for images. If you want to extend that practice to other elements, you'll need to use a plugin. We recommend using A3 Lazy Load. This plugin enables you to exclude specific images and pages from lazy loading and also supports delayed loading for videos, even external ones. With the plugin installed and activated, go to Settings, A3 Lazy Load. Look under Lazy Load Activation. You'll notice it's turned on by default after installation. Now open the Lazy Load Images tab. You can choose which images to delay within your website and enable a fallback for browsers that block JavaScript. You can also set a CSS class for images that you don't want to defer loading for. The default settings have every option turned on, which we recommend maintaining. Next, let's move on to lazy load videos and iframes. Just as with images, it enables you to choose delayed loading for specific clips. The video settings enable you to specify a CSS class that excludes specific videos from deferred loading. It's worth noting that you can use the same class as you did with images, just to keep things simple. Finally, if you want to disable deferred loading for specific types of pages, you can do so in the Exclude by URLs and Page Types tab. Here you can enter particular pages or content types that shouldn't use lazy loading. Once you've configured everything to your liking, go ahead and save your changes. There's nothing else you need to do. You're all set and ready to go. If you need help troubleshooting any lazy loading issues you're having, check out our blog post where we cover problems with images above the fold, layout shifting, and problems with deferred loading and caching plugins. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content. With that said, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.